Lori Vallow-Daybell, the so-called doomsday cult mom, made a return trip to the courthouse in Rexburg, Idaho today to try to get the bail lowered. She has charges there. She's got charges in another county as well. Ted Rowlands has the latest for us tonight.
Good morning, Mr. Means and Ms. Daybell.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Wood.
Good morning, Your Honor.
A slight good morning nod was the only communication from a masked Lori Vallow-Daybell during a pretrial Zoom conference in Madison County, Idaho. Lori Daybell and her husband Chad Daybell are facing conspiracy charges in neighboring Fremont County, where Chad lives. That's where the remains of Lori's children, Tylee and JJ, were found in Chad's backyard. This hearing was about the 3 misdemeanors Vallow-Daybell still faces in Madison County and whether bail should be reduced from $1 million. She's also being held on $1 million bail based on the charges in Fremont County.
My client has been a model inmate. These charges are not of a violent nature. There is no previous criminal record.
Vallow-Daybell's attorney, Mark Means, argued that since his client is now only facing misdemeanor charges in Madison County, the 2 felonies against her were dropped last month, bail should be reduced.
We think ultimately that the $1 million bond isn't reflective of the current charges, that we'd ask that the court reduce it to $100,000.
The misdemeanor charges accuse Vallow-Daybell of impeding the investigation into the whereabouts of her son, JJ. The charges include an accusation that Lori called her friend Melanie Gibb and asked her to lie when police were doing a welfare check. Prosecutor Rob Wood argued against reducing bail by going after Vallow-Daybell's character.
When the defendant obstructed the investigation into the safety and welfare of JJ Vallow, she was hiding the location of her dead child. When she attempted to get Melanie Gibb to lie to the police on her behalf, she was attempting to get Miss Gibb to lie about the location of her dead child.
Before their arrests, Lori and her husband Chad told friends and family that the end of the world is coming on July 22nd. It's not clear if they still believe that or if they still believe in each other. Listen to what Prosecutor Wood said about their legal relationship during his bail argument.
Her only family contact is Chad Daybell, who is a co-defendant in the Fremont County case. And in our view, her only family contact now is someone with whom her legal interests are completely adverse.
In the end, Judge Michelle Mallard decided to reduce Lori Daybell's bail to $150,000 and set a trial date for the misdemeanors for January of next year.
January trial date. Mark your calendars, folks. Let's bring in Ted Rowlands, Court TV anchor. Ted, I'm a little confused here, though. My understanding in jails that you don't get the opportunity to use, different cosmetic type of products, yet somehow Lori Vallow-Daybell seems to be dyeing part of her hair dark brown now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on with her hair. It was really two-toned, whether that was the reflection of being incarcerated for several months or if she's actually dyeing it. Hard to tell. Every time we see her, she's got a little different look going, and today she definitely has a two-tone hair going, and
you
who
can
knows
tell,
how she
Ted,
pulled it off. Yeah.
Ted, I could tell you've never dyed your hair.
No.
I think those are her roots. Her roots are growing out to her natural color. Anyhow, let's get back.
I don't know, because it looks very strange to me. The way
absolutely.
it's growing out. Anyway, Vinny, got to point out one thing. We have to point out for people that are watching, thinking, "What? This judge reduced the bail to $150,000?" Keep in mind, she's still facing. She still has the $1 million bond on her in Fremont County. So even if she was able to come up with $150,000 to get out of the Madison County situation, she's not going anywhere. She's still staying in the jail because of that other county.
All right, so let's talk about the other county. How does this affect what's going on in Fremont County, right? Because here she's in a different county, different jail, different judge, and you got those other cases there. So What happened today? How does it affect the other charges?
Yeah, but you have the same attorneys, right? So the special prosecutor, Prosecutor Wood, is representing the state in both separate counties. And today we got a little bit of a glimpse into, I think, where this is going. And the bottom line here is it sounds like they're talking about a potential venue change, figuring out where this will be tried, and then they're also talking about combining these two cases. Take a listen to Prosecutor Wood.
Your Honor, on this case, the state doesn't need that much more time to prepare. However, as to what Mr. Means said, there are conversations between the defense and the state in regards to venue, possible consolidation of cases. And so, in and of itself, no, we don't need a lot of time to prepare, but I think what Mr. Means has said is accurate in terms of the conversations we're going to be having in terms of when we actually try this and if it gets consolidated with other charges.
So at the end of the day, the trial date for these 3 misdemeanors has been set for the 3rd week in January. I don't see it ever going to trial, these 3 misdemeanors. I think they're going to be mixed in with the other charges, the conspiracy charges that she is facing, the more serious charges over in Fremont County, and a trial date there has not been set.
Okay, and I mean, is there talk that they're going to move this without even trying to get a jury locally and move it maybe to Boise where you have many more people?
There seems to be some talk. It was brought up today. Venue was one of the things that both sides are discussing. And that, frankly, might make sense given the jury pool, the size of it in Rexburg there is very small, and everybody has been following this case. It is a pretty good argument from the defense side that a change of venue might be necessary in a case like this, where Boise, as you point out, has a much larger population. And you also have to bring up the LDS factor. In Rexburg, in that area, it is heavily LDS. And what these two are accused of really, it stepped away from that religion. They are members that many members now are disgusted by their behavior. It's another factor that in Boise they wouldn't have to endure.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest factors, especially the way you've done these pieces, delving into their beliefs and the history of their religious affiliations really becomes a central part of the case when prosecutors are trying to prove the motive and the reason for all this. Ted Rowlands, great reporting. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend, sir.
You bet.